Welcome back. The Republican Party, and I talk to members in it pretty regularly, facing pretty powerful headwinds as we get closer to the midterms. Republican Senator Ted Cruz is serving his third term and sits on the Senate Commerce, Foreign Relations, and Judiciary Committees, powerful ones all. He's also the author of a new book, Going Further, The Incomparable Clarence Thomas, a biography and other things about the conservative Supreme Court Justice. Senator Cruz, good morning.
Major, good morning.
We'll get to the book in a second, I promise. But some news of the day things. We have now a full-blown trade war with Canada. Support, neutral, or oppose?
Look, I'm hopeful this will get resolved.
Soon?
I very much hope so. Within the Trump administration, there are two camps. There's one camp that wants to use the threat of tariffs as leverage to open up trade. There's another camp that wants to see tariffs as a permanent feature of our economy. I'm in camp number one. I am all for using
means to an end.
Yes, I'm all for leverage, but I'll tell you, the United States, we do a lot of trade with Canada. We do a lot of trade with Mexico. Texas does massive trade, almost $300 billion a year of trade with Mexico. And so I'm all for, I think President Trump has been really effective getting our trading partners to open up their markets. And the threat of tariffs is useful, but I think the objective should be more trade, not less.
Does this feel scarier to you? It looks like it's going to be real. And Mark Carney's digging in.
Yeah, look, I mean, Mark Carney's beating his chest, and that's okay. I think it's a little performative. I think it will get resolved. And at the end of the day, our economies are closely connected. And so I think the objective is going to be a whole lot more trade. There is an amazing irony. I think Donald Trump could go down in history as the greatest free trade president ever, which is not what one would expect. But the difference is when he threatens our trading partners, we're going to put tariffs on. What I've seen is they come rushing to Washington and say, let's slash our tariffs and we'll open up our markets. And that's a good thing.
So let's talk about 300,000 metric tons of beef imported to the United States to lower prices. Lots of Republican senators this weekend expressed alarm. Are you in that camp?
Oh, listen, again, I'm for more trade. We've got a lot of ranchers. We've got a lot of cattle ranchers in Texas. That matters. At the end of the day, though, I think America competes well on the global trading front when we have a fair marketplace.
All right. The Texas Senate race, you and I have talked about it. I know you believe that James Talarico, the Democratic nominee, is out of step with Texas values. But are you going to campaign with Ken Paxton?
Absolutely.
And you have a super PAC that's going to roll up about $2 million in for him. So when do you believe this race changes? Because on the cultural side, that argument's been out there against Talarico for weeks. He's still tied or slightly leading in the polls. When does that take hold?
Look, it will. I think we're going to win this race, but it is a real fight. And I'm telling Republicans,
$100 million fight?
$200 million.
$200 million.
It's going to be expensive. Right now, though, I mean, look, Ken Paxton just came out of a rough primary. He had $200 million.
Divided Republican Party.
When you face that many attack ads, you're a little bit bruised. I mean, that's just the nature of politics. Talarico did not really have a primary. He just kind of skated through. Very few voters actually know his record. His substantive record, I think, is really extreme. And look, I've seen the polling. When the voters hear what this guy is for, they don't support him. He would be a great candidate in California. He's not a great candidate in Texas.
All right. I want to get to the book in a second, but one of the reasons I look at this book, I say, is this something about a 2028 conversation? You're endorsing candidates around the country. I covered you in Iowa. You won the caucuses there. Yep. You went longer than any other Republican against Donald Trump. Are you running in 2028?
Look, I'm right now focused, number one, on the midterms. But actually, this book is not about the midterms. This book is about, this is my fifth book. And I like writing books. I like telling stories. And the reason I wrote this book, so it's a biography of Clarence Thomas. He's someone I've known a long time. I've known him 30 years. 2 years ago, I went to him and I said, Justice, I'd like to write a book. Would you be willing to sit down and do one-on-one interviews? And it's interesting. He looked at me, he said, Ted, if you were a law professor, if you were anyone else, I would say no. He doesn't do a lot of interviews.
No, he doesn't. Eschews all of that.
And he said, look, my background, I was a clerk at the court. Before I was in the Senate, I spent my whole career litigating in front of the Supreme Court. I know the justice well. And he said, look, I think you can tell this story. And so he sat for about 9.5 hours of one-on-one interviews. Right. And what I try to do in the book is two things. Number one, tell his personal story. And it is an extraordinary story. There is no other Supreme Court justice in history who came from abject poverty. Right. He grew up in Pinpoint, Georgia. Actually, English was not his first language.
No, it was not. Absorbed withering racism.
He was born just after World War II. He was born before Brown versus Board of Education. He grew up. He was raised by his grandfather. He had a single mom who faced a lot of challenges. His grandfather raised him. His grandfather was the son of a freed slave. You think about the time, and was a tough man. He called his grandfather Daddy, and raised him with discipline. He sold fuel oil as a little boy with his grandfather, and then he wanted to be a priest. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know this. He went to seminary and was convinced he was going to be a priest, and ended up getting disillusioned on the church over race, that he thought the church.
And then for a while was a college radical.
He was a college radical, camouflage pants, Malcolm X on the wall.
Stokely Carmichael.
He was actually Stokely Carmichael. He was actually in a riot in Harvard Square when he was at Holy Cross. He went to Harvard Square, was part of a riot.
Anti-war riot, yeah.
His
protest.
Journey from far left radical to principled conservative is an incredible journey.
You write in the back of the book, if he were politically liberal, he would be venerated, have things all named after him. But based on the reading of the book and my brief interactions with the justice, he doesn't care about that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't need any of that. He's never sought any of that. So why would that be important to you or to him?
Because I think he is a true American hero. He is right now today the second longest serving Supreme Court justice.
And you believe he'll
in history
make history that way?
In 2028, he will be the longest serving Supreme Court justice to ever serve. And part of what so he wrote an autobiography 30 years ago. It's My Grandfather's Son is what it's called. It's an incredible book. He tells his story, but it ends when he goes to the court. What I try to do in this book is tell his story, but also include 30 years of jurisprudence. And I try to include it. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a constitutional law expert. I try to write the book so that, like, a smart high school kid could understand why is this one of the most important justices in history who came from nothing and overcame massive odds.
And when are you going to announce for president in 2020? Come on.
I have no announcement for you, but what I will say...
But you're thinking about it. You are seriously thinking about it.
Going Further is the #1 book in the country on Amazon right now.
But you are seriously considering it. Don't tell me you're not.
What I will say, and we'll have this conversation another time, but what I will say is it's a great book to get particular high school kids, college kids, young professionals.
I got to go. Senator
He's
Ted Cruz, I appreciate it. Going Further is available tomorrow. Scan the QR code on your screen to pre-order it like he was talking about today. We'll be back in 90 seconds.